Hello again mga kanarang! Here we are again this week with another exciting episode and more challenging questions. I've heard meron tayong particular problem with drinking population here, okay? So let's tackle another episode with more questions on our drinking population with the sinasabi natin the hangovers of today. Hangovers basically, well, we'll talk about what happens physiologically, what normally happens when people drink alcohol. I usually mention that alcohol, whether you put it on the skin or you take it internally, is actually a drying agent. Okay, in another sense, it dries the body. Okay, the other term for that, it dehydrates the body. And when your body dehydrates, your organs dehydrate, something else happens. So with dehydration, there is what we call, there can be muscle contraction. That's one thing. Okay, so when the brain and the muscles in the brain and the eyes, whatever organs are involved, are dehydrated, they seem to contract. Okay, so when you have muscle contraction or any type of muscle movement, you can actually have pain. Okay, so when you start to drink, and when you drink a substantially large amount of alcohol, your body basically almost contracts. Okay, so it's more of a dehydration process that's affecting the body. I don't know where that came from pero alam ko hindi totoo yan Kasi you have lots of drinking populations, drinking parties, okay? And you can make the observation that different people use ice, some people don't use ice, okay? And if you can elicit the results of the ice drinkers and the non-ice drinkers, I'm sure you wouldn't get the same results, okay? It's more of what we call the myths of drinkers. Headache, most of the what we call headaches are caused by muscle tension. So you have lots of muscles in your head, okay? Not in the brain itself, but surrounding the head, like on top of the skull. And if you have muscle tension in your head, you will get headaches, okay? And most of the tension headaches are treated with muscle relaxants and painkillers. We have observed that a lot of drinkers have actually sworn to the fact that if they drink e-karma before the drinking spree or even the morning after, that they do have a hangover, that within 30 minutes the hangover will go away, that it will relieve the headache. Okay, so we're trying to explain this with all the facts that we have, and all we can say is that e-karma has a muscle relaxant activity, and it has an anti-inflammatory activity that work together to counteract the muscle tension that's in the brain almost immediately, so you have an immediate hangover relief. It's a combination of two actions that e-karma brings to the liver, okay? The liver is the detoxifying organ of the body. Detoxifying in the sense that when we're talking about alcohol, when you drink alcohol, the first organ that receives the alcohol and detoxifies it, and it changes it to something that can be passed into the blood system, is the liver. So when you talk about detoxification, there are several systems involved in the detoxification process, okay? So when the liver works, you can't avoid that it will incur some sorts of inflammation, injury, and cell damage, okay? So what researchers have seen is that pterostilbene, which is found in e-karma, has a cellular protective action. One, so alcohol will not easily damage the cells in the liver because of this action. And the second one is anti-inflammatory. when an inflammatory process occurs in the liver, which occurs because of the alcohol toxin, it will already extinguish the inflammation even before it goes any further. So those two actions of pterostilbene, which we can find in E-karma, is responsible for helping the liver detoxify alcohol that goes into the system. So that will explain the help of E-karma to alcohol drinkers.